going on, you guys? I made a video about 6 months ago going over my service truck that I had just built. It wasn't entirely done. There was some stuff that I needed to finish. It did not have a front bumper on it. It wasn't fully tooled, but I had like a decent amount of hand tools on it. What else was there? I know there was some other stuff, I just can't remember. But anyways, it is close to being fully tooled. I put a bumper on it, so I'll show you guys that in a minute. And then also I wanted to go over a couple of things that I like about the truck, and then some things I really don't like about the truck that I needed to change. So that being said, let's get to it. First and foremost, let's check out this bumper really quick. Okay, so the bumper, not gonna lie, got it off Amazon, okay? Pretty decent gauge steel. I think that it would be okay if I got in a wreck, but I mean, you know, it's probably not as good as a Flog or, I don't know, whatever brand bumper, Fusion, I don't know. But you know, it's pretty decent, so I'm not gonna complain. I bought it for like $995. That's a lot better than $1,800 to two grand for a bumper. It came painted with this crinkle coat, whatever you want to call it. It came with the lights, the shackles. The shackles were red. I thought it was pretty tight, matched the red on the truck. And it was pretty easy to put together, pretty easy to mount to the truck. If you guys have any questions about the bumper, let me know. Just, you know, put it in the comments, ask for the link or whatever, and then I could put it in the comments. But yeah, so far I'm pretty stoked about the bumper. Take a step back here. This is the second thing I'm having a hard time with, okay? The truck is squatting a little bit. You may not be able to tell, but to me I can really tell. Not a big fan of squat on a work truck. Mind you, this is a 3-inch rough country leveling kit. The front, I put the springs in, so it's 3 inches taller in the front than factory, and the rear, I have not done anything to. I haven't had the time to put the blocks in the back. It was usable, so I said, screw it, I'm going to work, I'm gonna get this thing on the road. I have shock absorbers for the rear too that came with the kit. But even like the fact that it squats isn't the biggest issue with me. The fact that it is so incredibly sloshy in the rear end, that's my problem. And I was kind of shocked with the fact that it's a 3500, it's a dually. It should be able to handle, you know, the bed and all the tools that is in it, but this thing is like, it is like driving on a balloon in the rear. It is so soft. So to solve the issue of the sloshiness or the what do you call it, the softness of the suspension, I was thinking about either just doing the bags, just like the regular trailer bags that you keep like 10-20 psi in, or I was contemplating doing air ride in the back and getting rid of the leaf springs altogether. There's a couple reasons for that, which I'll go into in just a second, but yeah, I gotta kind of get my thoughts straight on that one, because I know what would be easier, but I also know what would be way cooler. So and in the last video I think I already covered this, but I'll go over it again. So as you can tell, I mean, these wheels stick out like crazy. That's probably a good, there's my hand, and it's sticking out further than my hand. I don't know, I'd say like maybe my idea of 9 inches is wrong, but that looks like every bit of 8 or 9 inches to me. Don't laugh at me. So the reason it sticks out so much is partially because of the bed, but also I had to space these rear duals out 2 inches so that would clear the leaf springs, because the offset of these rims, they're pretty aggressive, so it was hitting the leaf spring. You know, so I put 2-inch spacers behind both wheels, up against the hub, pushing the wheels out. If I got rid of the leaf springs and did air ride and 3-link or 4-linked it rather, at that point I could get rid of the leaf springs and tuck the tires back in further, and the tires will only stick out about this far at that point, which is a lot better than where it's at now, because Right now, I measured it out. It's about 118 inches wide, and it's pretty sketchy driving down narrow roads, especially at night. I do a lot of work out in the country. Driving on those narrow country roads at night, it's kind of nerve-wracking, I'm not gonna lie. I have yet to get the 100-gallon fuel cell plumbed in, and I was kind of confused on why it's like this, but it only has one I don't know, what would you call it, like a fill spout. So I don't even know if I can put a fill ride on this thing because it only has that one hookup or one opening. I thought that was kind of peculiar. I've never seen a fuel cell only have one opening. So maybe you guys can help me out with that, because I know that if I was to put a fill right, it's going to need a vent or a breather of some sort on the other side or something like that. So kind of odd. I was also contemplating using it as a waste bin because it is plumbed underneath. It's plumbed down, and it has a 90, and it has a tube going all the way back, pretty much like right underneath the hitch right there. So I could just put a 5-gallon bucket and drain it 5 gallons at a time or whatever. I thought that'd be cool because it would keep me from having to, you know, keep on going to AutoZone or O'Reilly and dumping my waste oil every day or every other day. But at that point, once I do that, that tank is pretty much only for used oil and stuff, because I don't want to have to clean it all out just to use diesel in it. But this bed, it is not the greatest for mobile mechanics. It doesn't make the greatest service bed. Reason being is because of the tool storage. So from the outside wall to the inside wall, which actually stops probably right here, because I think this is double walled, it's only about 17 inches deep, and that's really narrow. I mean, you can't fit much inside there. And the tool storage compartment, stick it on 0.5, it's not very tall. It's kind of narrow too. I mean, that's what you get with the wheelbase of this thing, but it works, but it could be a lot better. But all in all, I mean, it looks good. It's somewhat functional, and it looks good. A lot of people were talking crap about this thing being on 24's. They were saying that it's going to be a rough ride. They were saying nobody's going to take me serious. I've kind of dismissed those comments because, I mean, if this was my only source of income, yeah, I could see that. I could see how that was a stupid choice. But for me, this was really just, you know, it's side work. It's something fun. I could turn it into my sole income, but I wanted to make it fun. It's something I enjoy doing. It's a hobby, and it makes me money. So I had fun, you know. I leveled it, powder coated some stuff, put a cool bumper on it and some wheels, you know. And honestly, it gets a lot of looks. It really does. A lot of people like it. You know, I've done work for farmers. I've done work for construction. I've done work for all kinds of different people, and they all thought it was pretty neat. You know, some people didn't understand it, but some people, you know, they liked it. And the people that didn't understand it, they didn't care. What they cared about was their car getting fixed or their truck getting fixed. So those people that were talking crap about my 24's, you know, to each their own. I like it, and proof's in the pudding. I don't really think it matters what kind of wheels you have on your truck. I think that if you do good work, people are going to hire you. I've been doing about 3 jobs a day for the past 6 months. Immediately after making that first video, business blew up. And I'll make another video a little bit later, kind of going over logistics of things, what things cost, and also how much I'm making. So I think that'll make a pretty interesting video. But yeah, sorry if I suck at filming. I know I probably do. I'll get better though. But I have one last thing that I want to mention in this video. This truck, the exhaust is bone stock. Okay, I had cut off the cat, and I absolutely hated how loud it was. This thing was stupid loud. It sounded good at idle. It sounded good when you give it a little bop bop bop, you know, just like 12 valve or whatever else. But whenever you're actually driving and shifting, whenever you're shifting and all that, it sounds terrible. It's an automatic. So if you guys know how to make a 24 valve sound good without doing a 12 gen manifold swap, let me know, because this thing sounds freaking ridiculous. So please let me know. Will you end out my video?
It's Latina approved.